us a very, very seasoned Toastmaster who is on the verge of becoming a distinguished Toastmaster, or a DTM, as you all will say. This Toastmaster is a trainer by profession, and one of the best things that I realize about her is that she's one of the best friends that I have in the club. She's a Mitra. And not just a Mitra, she's a very good friend. A Sumitra. So please help me in welcoming Sumitra Manmohan.
Many films inspire people. Tare Zameen Pe, not by Amir Khan, not just inspired me, but sowed in me a dream. A dream to organize, conduct a special speechcraft for dyslexic students, those with learning disabilities, because I was convinced our speechcraft would boost their self-confidence, help them articulate, and also build up their self-esteem. And the High Performance Leadership Project helped me realize my dream and became the culmination to my leadership journey. Father Francis, my fellow Toastmasters, and dear esteemed guests, I feel truly privileged today on this momentous occasion to share with all of you my leadership experience of that special speechcraft. I'm convinced when you have a mission with a noble cause, support just flows in. But your road to success is not without hurdles. My first step was to build a data bank about dyslexic students. And Professor Subramaniam, the president of the Malleshwaram Dyslexic Association, was very spontaneous in his support, and he shared with me his list of students. Now, when I really got down to that project, unfortunately he was out of the country, but his staff members put me on to Aparna, a counselor and teacher for dyslexic students. When she heard about my program, she was so excited. She recommended it to all her students, some of the teachers, and she also suggested that I contact some of the schools. One of the upmarket schools had an exclusive class of 25 dyslexic students, but their response was totally cold. I thought maybe I'm not a qualified teacher. I contacted some other schools. They spread the word to their students, but somehow I didn't get any registrations from them. Anyway, I went ahead. The next step was to fix a venue. And since we were meeting in St. Joseph's Commerce College, I went and approached that principal. Somehow he was not at all encouraging. He even told me that he may charge me 3,000 per session, even though my program was free and it was for dyslexics. Undeterred, I went on, looked at many venues, and finally I met Priyanka of Times Foundation. When she heard of my program, she was so excited. She decided to give it free to me, the venue, even though they charge 10% of the proceeds for their charities. What did I learn? Remain positive, keep knocking at doors, and some door is bound to happen. In fact, I'm grateful to St. Joseph's because of them, I became more determined and I tapped many more doors. My next step was publicity. So of course, I sent letters on that, based on that list, And then I approached Deccan Herald, Indian Express. They flatly refused to cover the program. Why? Because I had the support of Times. So next, when I approached Hindu, I was very discreet. I just omitted the venue and I got the coverage. And Pradeep gave me that clipping. I got about 20 inquiries, most of these from the letters I sent, hardly 3 from Times, through Times, another 2 from Hindu. So what I feel is the best way to publicize your program is word of mouth, direct mail, and of course your credibility. And then I made the presentation in the club. And let me tell you, the response was overwhelming. So many members came forward, volunteering help. I said, let me see the number of participants. Accordingly, I'll tap into your help. And I was really grateful to Powers and Jindo for all the support I got for the program. Came the opening day. I was excited. I was full of hope, but also had anxiety. How many would turn up? Only 6 students came. A big question in my head. Do I go ahead or cancel it? But when I saw the eagerness of the students and the mothers, I decided to go ahead. Subsequently, I got another 2 students. That day, I had invited Varun, one of our Toastmasters who had overcome his dyslexia. He came and gave a motivating speech to these students. And then there was Aparna. I called her just in case some students get out of hand, and she gave some tips to some of the parents. And then we had the introductions, the table topics round. Let me tell you, the level of expression was way, way below what I thought it would be. So what did I do? I just set aside our manual and decided to improvise the program, and as we go along, to use various situations. For that first session, I had Vikas come in there to help me. He had just joined the club, and he also wanted to see how a speechcraft was conducted. For the subsequent programs, I had Aniket, and he also gave me a lot of ideas on how to make the children speak up. So improvisation helped me. Let me tell you, in the next few sessions, students who are not willing to speak, who are not willing to communicate with the others, opened up. They got the confidence to stand in front of the other participants. Why? They even became naughty and talkative. We had 2 extremes. One, a severe dyslexic. He was Piran. He came into the class head down, refused to speak to any of the other students, but by the end of the session, he was talking to his participants. He could stand in front of the class. He even got his brother to write out his speech and stood in front of the class and read out his speech even though he had difficulty in reading. At the other extreme, we had a 16-year-old, Balaji, a student of Jain College, who had problems with maths, not interested in studies, but a national swimming champion. His speeches were awesome. All in all, I was really happy, even Aniket was happy, with the transformation. Last week, I had 2 of the mothers ring me up to check out if I was conducting the speechcraft again. Obviously, I had made an impact. Fellow Toastmasters, I appeal to you, reach out to the underprivileged, the lesser able, make a difference. And what I learned about leadership is, remain positive, whatever happens. Be flexible to improvise your plans. Be persuasive, and that's what gets you support. And above all, be persistent until you reach your goal. Because one famous writer has said, When your cause is noble, even the universe conspires to help you succeed. Mr. Toastmaster.
I truly feel a very valued member of Bangalore Toastmasters to have been a part of that speechcraft session that Sumitra Manmohan Madam conducted. It was really wonderful to see those dyslexic children get out of their cocoons and start interacting so much freely in front of a group of people. It really made an impact, and thank you very much, Sumitra Madam, for sharing your experiences and enlightening the audiences as to how your leadership made a real impact in the real world. Thank you very much.